Welcome to the online registration video tutorial. In this video, we will show you the process of how to check your registration time, how to add and drop classes, and how to understand common registration errors you might come across. Let's get started. Registration at Western occurs in 3 phases. Prior to registration, prepare each quarter by checking your specific registration time. It's also helpful to review your academic goals and next steps with an advisor to make sure you continue making progress on graduation and program requirements. We recommend that you create a few different possible class schedules. We will show you how to check your registration time later in this video. Phase 1 marks the beginning of registration for continuing students. Phase 1 usually begins midway through the prior quarter, meaning that students will register for winter quarter during fall quarter. Registration access time during Phase 1 is based on total completed credits, which does not include any credits that are in progress. In Phase 1, you can register for up to 18 credits and can waitlist classes. Phase 2 of registration opens at some point after Phase 1 ends. In Phase 2, you can continue to make schedule changes and are able to register for up to 20 credits. Additionally, some departments will remove restrictions during Phase 2 that prevent non-majors from registering for their classes. During Phase 1 and 2, you have 24 hours to respond to a waitlist notification and register for the class if you still want to add it to your schedule. Phase 3 of registration begins the first day of the quarter and ends at midnight on the 5th day of classes. During this time, you may decide to add and drop classes based on your experience in your classes. If a spot opens for you from the waitlist during Phase 3, you have 12 hours to add the class. Once Phase 3 closes, the waitlist is turned off and you will need instructor permission, commonly referred to as an override, or OV, to add a class to your schedule. For this reason, it's best to make sure your class schedule is set before the end of Phase 3. Dropping a course past this point should be carefully considered in consultation with an advisor. Every quarter before Phase 1 of registration begins, you will want to view your registration status to make sure that you don't have any holds that will prevent you from registering. Let's get started by going to Western's homepage and selecting My Western in the top right corner. Consider My Western your landing page while you are a student. It provides access to Western's tools and resources that you will use on a daily basis. Towards the top of My Western, you will see links for your student email, which you should check daily since it is Western's official means of communication with you, and Canvas, the online component for your classes. For now, let's go to Web4U. On Web4U, you can look at your student records, register for classes, and access your financial aid and scholarship information. In Web4U, select the Students tab. You will see 3 sections: Registration, Student Records, and Student Forms. To view your registration status, select the registration link in the Registration section. Next, click Prepare for Registration, select the term you will be registering for from the drop-down menu, and then click Continue. On this page, you can see when registration opens for you and if you have any holds that might prevent you from registering. Hopefully, you will see 3 green check marks, which means that you do not have any holds and should be able to register. If you see a red circle with an exclamation point, this means that you have a hold on your registration. In this section, you can see the reason for the hold and the phone number of the office to call for more information on how to resolve it. You will want to view your registration status every quarter at least a week before registration begins to make sure you know when registration opens for you and to make sure you don't have any holds on your registration. Now let's navigate to the registration page to register for some classes. From the registration status screen, click on Registration towards the top of the page to be brought back to your registration landing page. From here, select Register for Classes and then select the term you would like to register for in the drop-down menu and press Continue. Your Register for Classes page contains 3 main sections. Along the top half of the page, you will find multiple ways to search for possible classes to register for and add to your summary. In the bottom right is your summary section, where you can register for or delete classes you added from the top section. Finally, in the bottom left, you have a view of your current class schedule for the selected quarter and can toggle between a calendar view and a list view with more details. Towards the center of the screen, you can change the size of the 3 windows so that some are displayed and others are hidden. For now, we will select the dot icon in the center so that all 3 sections are visible on our screen. Using the top section of the Register for Classes screen, let's start searching for possible classes to add to our summary. There are 3 different ways to search for classes: Find Classes, Enter CRNs, and Plans. Find Classes allows you to search for classes in the same way as the Browse Classes tool does, including using a variety of filters such as subject and attributes. For example, let's do a subject search for economics. The results page shows every economics class offered in the selected term and provides important information for each section, like the meeting days and times and current status of remaining seats. Just like in Browse Classes, you can click on the title of a course you are interested in to bring up a detailed Class Details menu. Under Class Details, you can toggle between tabs featuring a course description, prerequisites, restrictions, attributes, fees, and more. Once you identify a class section you are interested in taking, click Add, and you will see that the course now appears in your summary section in the bottom right corner. However, we have not yet officially registered for the course. The class we just added to the summary has a status of pending, and it appears on our class schedule calendar view as a pending course. In order to register for the course, you must take an action in the summary. Under the Action column, you can either select Web Registered or Remove. To officially register for the course, confirm that Web Registered is selected in the Action column, and then press Submit. Now, the class status should say Registered, and the class will appear on your weekly calendar with a green checkmark. The status of Registered verifies that you have currently registered for the course. At the bottom of the summary section, you can see how many credit hours you are currently registered for. If you want to delete a class you have registered for, change the action drop-down to Web Delete and press Submit. The class will now have a status of deleted and remain in the summary until you press Submit again. When adding and removing classes, it is important to always double-check the status column to confirm that you have taken your intended actions with each course. As a reminder, you must press Submit anytime you want an updated action to take effect. Now let's briefly go over the other 2 ways you can add classes to your summary. If you have already done some schedule planning in the Browse Classes tool and have written down course reference numbers, or CRNs, you can enter them by selecting Enter CRNs, type the CRN, the 5-digit number associated with the specific section you would like to take, in the open box. If you click outside of the box, the title and course number of the associated CRN will appear. For our example, we are going to register for Geology 211, a lab science course where the 1 CRN is used to register for the lecture and lab portions of the course together. You will also have the option to enter additional CRNs. Once you have entered them all, press Add to Summary, and the classes will appear in your summary for further action. Remember, to register for the class, you must now confirm that Web Registered is selected in the Action column and press Submit. Finally, if you have used the Plan Ahead feature, you can register directly from your prepared plans by selecting the Plans tab. In this section, you will find any plans you have already created for the selected term. If you added specific sections of a class, you can add them to your summary from this page. If you added a course to your plan without selecting a section, you must first click View Sections and choose your preferred section of the course to add from there. Now that you have added several classes to your summary, you can continue using the Action drop-down menu to register for, delete, or waitlist courses. Once you are happy with your schedule, you can see a calendar view of all of your courses in the bottom left corner. Please note that if you have waitlisted for any courses, these will appear on your calendar view as well, so be sure to confirm in your summary which classes you are actually registered for. By clicking Schedule Details, you can find detailed information about your registered and waitlisted courses, including the days and times, credit hours, instructor, and waitlist position. Now let's review some common registration errors by entering CRNs that will result in error messages. If you attempt to register for a class that has a time conflict, you will see an error message window pop up in the top right corner of your screen. In addition, the status column for the course in your summary will tell you there are errors preventing registration. This means that you were not able to register for the course, and it will show you the CRN of the course it is conflicting with from your current class schedule. If the error indicated that the class is closed, that means the class is full. If a class is closed, we encourage you to register for another class that is currently open. You can add yourself to the waitlist for a closed class from this page as well. To learn how to do this, watch our Waitlisting for a Class video. You can also find waitlist information on the Registrar's Office website. Several other errors can occur when registering for classes, including if you do not have the proper prerequisite coursework or if you are not in the correct major or field of study to be able to register for that course. To ensure these errors do not happen, pay attention to the prerequisites and restrictions listed in the Class Details section when planning your class schedules. Some classes require an override code in order to obtain a seat in the class. These classes will indicate that an override code is required in the Restrictions tab in the Class Details window. If you attempt to register for a class that has an override restriction and you have not yet received the override, you will get an error message. If you want to register for the class, contact the academic department or the instructor to ask for permission to be in the course. If you are granted an override, the department or instructor will input the override into the system and you will then be able to register for the course. Once you are finished with your registration, click on Schedule and Options to see a larger calendar view of your completed schedule, including registered and waitlisted courses. An important part of getting ready to register for classes is to know when registration will open for you. Continuing students whose registration time is based on total completed credits can look in the Prepare for Registration section of Web4U. Along with this, there is an additional way for continuing Western students to check their registration time each quarter that is helpful to know. First, start on My Western, scroll down to the Academic Planning Tools box, and select Important Dates and Deadlines. This link brings you to a page on the Registrar's Office website where you can find important dates related to registration, academic deadlines, and last day deadlines. On this page, you will find the 3 phases of registration outlined in more detail, including the dates for each phase. Scrolling further down the page, you will find deadlines such as the last day to drop a course without receiving a W and important tuition refund deadlines for each quarter. To find your registration time, select Registration Schedule and you will find the entire table for Phase 1 of registration for continuing students. To find your time, look up your amount of completed credit, which does not include any in-progress credit for the current quarter. You can find your amount of completed credit on your academic history on the Students tab of the Web4U landing page. Once you find your credit amount, you can use this table to see the date and time that Phase 1 of registration opens for you that quarter. Thank you for watching our online registration video tutorial. We encourage you to explore the rest of our websites and online advising videos for more information on choosing and declaring a major, waitlisting, and more.